Imagine you make $50,000 a year. You work full-time, you show up, you do everything right. And every single month, $200 of your paycheck disappears. Not to rent, not to groceries, not to your kids, to a bank, in interest, on a balance you've been carrying for 3 years. You didn't buy anything crazy. You just survived. A car repair here, a medical bill there, a slow month when the hours got cut. And now that bank, the one that never taught you how credit works, never warned you about the 29% interest rate in the fine print, is collecting $200 from you every month, like clockwork. That's not bad luck. That's a $6,595 trap. And it was built for us. Stay with me.
Here are some numbers I need you to sit with for a second. Americans are carrying $1.25 trillion in credit card debt right now. In 2026. Trillion with a T. The average balance per person, $6,595. The average interest rate, 29%. At 29% interest on $6,595, if you only pay the minimum every month, you will be paying that debt for 17 years, and you will pay $9,000 in interest alone on $6,595. You will pay back almost 3 times what you borrowed. And nobody told you that when they handed you that card at 22 with a $500 limit with a smile?
Before we get into the system, I need to say something first. If you are in credit card debt right now, that is not a moral failure. That is not laziness. That is not poor character. Credit card companies spend billions of dollars every year on behavioral psychologists, data scientists, and marketing teams, all working to make sure you spend more than you have. The minimum payment is not a kindness. It is a trap. The rewards program is not a gift. It is a hook. And Black families and first-gen households, we were targeted deliberately. Predatory lending, lack of financial education in our schools and homes, emergency after emergency with no safety net underneath. The system was not designed for us to win, but we are going to win anyway. Let me show you how.
So why is it so hard to stop? You know you should pay it off. You've told yourself 100 times. So what's actually in the way? 3 things, and they are all real. First, the minimum payment illusion. When your statement says minimum payment due $35, your brain reads that as, I'm handling it. You're current. You're responsible. But that $35 is mostly interest. Your actual balance barely moves. The bank designed that number specifically to keep you paying forever. Second, the emergency cycle. You pay down $500, then your transmission goes, then you're back up $600, and you feel like you're running on a treadmill that someone else controls the speed on. This is not a discipline problem. This is a structural problem. You don't have a buffer, so the card becomes the buffer. Third, the shame spiral. Debt feels like a secret. You don't talk about it. You don't look at the full number. And when you don't look at it, you can't fight it. Shame keeps the debt alive longer than the interest does. I need you to hear this. Awareness is not failure. Awareness is the beginning of the exit. Here is the exact system. 5 steps in order. Do not skip ahead. Step 1. Look at the full number. Today. I know, but you cannot fight what you won't face. Open every card. Write down 3 things for each one. The balance, the interest rate, the minimum payment. Put it all on one piece of paper. That number, however scary it is the number you are going to shrink. You need to see it whole before you can attack it in parts. Step 2, stop the bleeding before you start the payoff. If you are still adding to the balance every month, even small amounts, you are pouring water into a leaking bucket. Before you attack the debt, you need 30 days of not adding to it. That means a temporary spending freeze on the card. Cash or debit only for 1 month. Not forever, just long enough to stop the momentum in the wrong direction. Step 3, build a $1,000 emergency fund first. Yes, before aggressive payoff. This is the step that most debt advice skips, and it's the reason people pay off debt and end up right back in it 6 months later. Without a cash cushion, the next emergency goes straight back on the card. $1,000 in a high-yield savings account is your shield. It breaks the cycle. It is not optional.
Step 4, attack the debt with a system, not willpower. There are 2 methods. Both work. Pick the one that fits your brain. The avalanche method. Pay minimum on everything, throw every extra dollar at the highest interest rate card first. This saves the most money mathematically. If you have a 29% card and a 19% card, the 29% card is bleeding you the fastest. Kill it first. The snowball method, pay minimum on everything, throw every extra dollar at the smallest balance first. This wins psychologically. You get a win faster. You feel momentum. That momentum keeps you going. Dave Ramsey built a whole empire on this method because it works for human brains even when the math isn't perfect. Which one is right for you? If you are motivated by numbers, avalanche. If you need to feel wins quickly, snowball. Either way, the key word is system. You need a plan on paper, not just a feeling. Step 5, call the bank and ask for a lower rate. I know this sounds too simple, but 70% of people who call their credit card company and ask for a lower interest rate get one. 70%. You just have to ask. Call the number on the back of the card. Say, I've been a customer for X years, I've been paying on time, and I'd like to request a lower interest rate. That's it. A 5% reduction on $6,595 saves you over $300 a year. One phone call. And if your credit score is decent, look into a balance transfer card. 0% interest for 12 to 18 months. You pay the same amount every month, but all of it goes to the principal, not to interest. This alone can cut your payoff timeline in half. Your grandmother never had a credit score, not because she didn't have credit, because the system didn't count her credit. Black women were routinely denied credit cards, denied loans, denied the basic financial tools that build stability, well into the 1970s. The Equal Credit Opportunity Act wasn't passed until 1974. Before that, a woman could be denied credit simply for being a woman. A Black woman had almost no recourse at all. So when I say this debt is not your fault, I mean it historically too. We came into this system late. We came in without the generational knowledge of how to navigate it. We came in as targets. But here's what's changed. You are here. You have the information. And the same system that was built to trap us, we can learn to use it on our own terms. A good credit score is not a measure of your worth, but it is a key. It opens lower interest rates, better apartments, business loans, mortgages. It is infrastructure, and you can build it deliberately, strategically, starting right now.
Before I let you go, here is your checklist. 3 things this week. 1, write down every balance, every interest rate, every minimum payment. All of it on 1 page. Face the number. 2, call your highest interest rate card and ask for a rate reduction.
Script: I've been a customer for X years. I pay on time. I'd like to request a lower rate. That's it. 1 call. 3, open a high-yield savings account and set up an automatic transfer of $25 or $50 on payday. Start the emergency fund before you start aggressive payoff. This is the step that makes it permanent. Debt feels like a life sentence because it has been your normal for so long. But normal is not the same as permanent. Your grandmother worked her whole life without the tools to fight this. You have the tools. You have the math. You have this video. You are not your balance. You are not your interest rate. You are not the minimum payment. You are the person who just spent 12 minutes learning how to get free. And that means everything. I'm Naomi, and I'll see you in the next one. Before we wrap up, if this gave you even one thing to think about, hit that like button. It takes 1 second, and it genuinely helps more people find this content who need it. And subscribe if you want the next one. Now, let's finish this.